Welcome back. So I had recently come out with a video talking about there being one aspect of World of Tanks Blitz that is more realistic than War Thunder, just based on my experience from playing these two games. And I really wanted to put this to the test. I created my own training rooms, and boy, was this actually quite fun. I feel like there's a lot of cool things you can do with these training rooms. But what other better way to do it than bring out the mouse? And basically everyone else on this battlefield is just, I think what War Thunder calls rank 3 tanks, or within that BR. I'm still kind of learning the differences there, but I'm bringing this thing out, 188 ton tank. Here we are going about 13, 14 kilometers an hour, which I don't think is very fast when you convert that to miles per hour. Maybe it's like 12 miles per hour or something like that. Maybe that's more like 17 or 18. Anyway, but I'm gonna go just straight down the middle of the map, and I chose the Normandy map because it's very hilly. I'm trying to, as you can see, I'm going down a little bit of a slope here. And I'm just gonna go right through the middle of the town, and I'm gonna just try ramming anything that I can possibly find to find out if ramming does actually have an effect on tanks in War Thunder. Because when playing a normal game, I can't tell that it does. I have tried going down hills and ramming, and I would expect it to do some kind of damage, but I haven't really necessarily noticed anything. As I could tell, my team is actually hitting me from behind. I am probably blocking their entire view as they're trying to shoot the enemy. And as I can see here, there's this one brave soul that I thought was totally brave enough to come right at me and ram into me, but this one bot looks like he knew what I was up to and turned his tank around to try and run away, but no cowards allowed here. We ended up taking him out. And I'm just looking for another one. And it made me really start wondering, do bots really try to run away when something's either too intimidating or they're maybe in a really bad spot? I have no idea, but here we go. Now this guy wasn't even paying attention at all. And I don't know why he was looking back the other way, facing his own team with his cannon. But here I am trying to ram this guy, much weaker tank. This is exactly what I wanted to do, something that was much thinner armor-wise. And you couldn't do this in a normal battle unless somebody really did choose a BT7 to fight at a higher BR. But that doesn't happen a whole lot. And I do see here, you can see if you look closely, his side track is actually busted. But one thing I do want to find out to take this a step further is what actually happens to the light tank. Now I was expecting, because when you shoot a tank, an opponent, it'll show a little rectangle or screen in the corner showing all the damaging things that happen inside of a tank while it's shot and what happens inside of it. Well, I'm gonna now be taking out a lighter tank right after this to see if there's anything that happens internally. Do the crew members get injured? As I'm pretty sure there's no seat belts in a tank. And historically, you know, tanks weren't, I think, meant to be ramming other tanks like they do in World of Tanks Blitz. I wanted to try this bigger guy. This guy maybe has a little bit more armor than the BT7, and I am not quite able to take his tracks out. And when coming down that hill, going the speed I was, I thought I could have maybe done some damage. I must say, ramming in War Thunder seems a bit more anticlimactic compared to World of Tanks Blitz. But in World of Tanks Blitz, you do have hit points that you can see. Now this guy, I don't know what this Panzer III was doing. It almost looks like he's trying to impress his friends by popping a wheelie in the middle of a battle as they're all kind of hovering and watching him. But I'm now going in, we're gonna go as in a much faster tank. I can't remember what this is called. In the tech tree, it's like an SD, Panzer, something, whichever. But a much faster tank, a wheeled vehicle, and now we're flying about 45, 43 kilometers an hour through Normandy. And I think that equivalates out in terms of miles per hour. What is that, 20, 25 miles per hour maybe? So trying to really get our speed up, and I'm going out this one flank because the capture point is over on the far left, all the enemies are going that direction, and I want to try coming up and ramming the side of them, looking for my first culprit here. And I think I can start to hear some pretty loud engines. I'm looking for those heavy KV tanks. And I'm going to be paying attention. This is where I want to see what happens internally to the tank when I start ramming into something that is much heavier than I am. So here we go, trying to get that speed up. We're at about 35 kilometers an hour. I do start seeing some tanks. And there is our first victim. Let's go, KV. Come on, bring it. And unfortunately, nothing. I don't see anything that has happened to him, which I wasn't expecting anything to happen to him. But I have added zoom 16x. This would be one hectic and crazy way to play War Thunder. I think my computer was just wigging out. So anyway, I'm trying again, and now I'm going completely around in the back. I'm going to try ramming one of these heavy tanks from behind, hoping that the enemies have their cannons facing forward at my other teammates, keeping them distracted, and I'm going to just try coming up and finding one of these other tanks that I can just ram. Hopefully a KV, but we'll just kind of see. I see some tanks up here in front of me, and I can't even believe this shot that he got off on me. This was absolutely crazy and just ridiculous. I hit this ramp, he's turning his turret, and totally takes me out. And I wish I would have actually had the in-game footage of it, because it actually does a slight replay slow motion of the shell hitting your tank and then blowing up. It was really funny and just made me laugh when I was doing that. So Boris didn't want me to hit him, so I'm now trying this again. Here we're actually going a lot faster. I'm trying to get up to about 40 kilometers an hour here, which we have now reached. We're about 40, 46, 47 kilometers an hour. The side of a KV, here we go. And I can see it looks like it had taken out or damaged my left wheel. Nothing of the KV looks like much has happened to it. Now these are steel beasts, but not as much damage as I would think would have been caused internally to a tank or its crew members when ramming going that fast. 25 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour is still pretty decent, but I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that ramming is still a little bit more realistic when it comes to World of Tanks Blitz, or does War Thunder have it spot on? Anyway, this is the Muffin here. You guys stay cool and keep tanking.